Hey, it's Ryan and Phil again, and we're working on the next segment of our video. This is pack rifles versus pack rifles. I am shooting today the Henry's survival rifle, which all fits into the stock. And Red, what are you shooting?
I got the Chiappa Little Badger, the going in 22 Magnum.
Nice, nice. And that's an accurate little gun, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so.
Okay, tell me about the groups you're seeing right here on the target.
The one over here, this is open sights with the Henry. And on the right here, that's the 22 Magnum with the glass.
And so there's a lot to be said for a single shot. There's definitely some weight advantages, and there's a lot to be said for having glass. But if you're looking at the two sights, I want to say that it has to do with your rest, your breathing, and how much caffeine you had, how much sleep you had to really dial those in. We've shot a lot better than that in the previous days. Today we're shooting a little big, but I think we could probably kill a rabbit with that. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, cool. All right, so here's Red. He's going to take a couple of shots with the Chiappa Little Badger. Red, what's your favorite part about the 22 Magnum?
I really like the velocity that gets out of it. It's a pretty spicy round compared to just a 22 long rifle. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's still a really good round.
So you're going after the little farther range and a little more kill power.
That's exactly right.
Awesome. Why don't you show me what that thing can do? Now that guy looks like it's got a really soft trigger.
It does. It measures out about 2.5.
That's very impressive. That makes a nice hunting rifle.
And that's right out of the box with no polishing or fiddling with it at all.
Let's go see that group. That last group of 4 was the upper right hand corner. So it looks like you've tightened up your group quite a bit.
I have quite a bit. This top one here, I pulled it, but it's still getting a little bit, I'm still getting a little bit better warming up some, and I'm still favoring a little bit high, it looks like.
And of course you're shooting with a scope, so you can make an adjustment, and we're shooting kind of close. So having it a little high, I don't think anybody's going to complain about, because we can reach out a little farther, it's going to fall on target.
Yep, that's true. We're looking at probably 25 meters maybe at best.
Okay, and it looks like you've got 2 touching each other for sure, right?
Yep.
That's a nice little tidy group under a quarter.
Yep.
All right, so we've got the Henry's U.S. survival rifle. This came from the famed AR-7, and the AR-7 was originally a rifle that was designed to put in an aircraft. So if you had a downed pilot, he could take this with him and a handful of 22s and get out of a situation. For a while, it had a bad name. It was made by Charter Arms and a couple other companies, and they just weren't accurate. They didn't shoot real well. What we found, Henry's really dialed this thing in. Modern technologies, they've come in, they've changed all the machining process to the point that the early parts don't really even fit in the later gun. So let's see how this thing shoots. So this shoots pretty good. If you look over here, I've got 2 touching. I'm all around my pickup point, my front sight point, and comparatively, the semi-automatic open sight versus the bolted rifle is pretty close. Now, clearly the glass is tightening up his shot. I actually think that just Red is shooting better than me today. That's pretty obvious. But the big thing is, you get the repeater shot. That's the golden thing about this little rifle that packs up into the stock. The other thing is that when you pack it up in the stock, most people don't know this, it actually floats. So if this is a boat rifle, it could fall in the river, you get out your canoe, you go find this thing, and you find it's all intact and it still works. A lot of things just fall out of the boat and they go to the bottom, and that's all you can do about it. So I'm pretty happy with my shooting today. So the last couple of days we've had a lot of fun with this Henry's survival rifle. Pluses for me, packs up nice, holds a pretty tight group when you get a good rest and when you're shooting good that day. Minuses for me are the trigger. The trigger is 7.5, maybe 8 pounds. I mean, it would lift a garage door It's pretty awesome. Red, tell me your pluses and minuses.
I agree with you on the trigger. And that's really about the only downside. Some people might complain about that it doesn't have a last bolt hold open, but it's also a small rifle. It really doesn't need something like that, so that would just be an extra amenity.
All right, so on a minimalist category, 1 to 10, 10 being best, where do you rate this rifle?
I'm gonna go, it's a good at 8, 8.5, 9.
You know, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with it. It packs down, what did we just say? All up, it's 3.5 pounds.
About there.
Loaded with all its guts. The only other thing I could think of that I wouldn't like about it, I'd like a little more 22 storage. If you had a little pouch to put some, you know, maybe 50 rounds hidden inside that thing, which I know there's room for it, it seems that's the only thing they lack.
I agree.
Good, good. All right, Red, I got to tell you, I am really impressed with the Chiappa Little Badger. I came into it thinking, it's kind of a cheap gun and I don't really have a use for it. But man, it has a silky smooth trigger, and the 22 Magnum is lightning fast. I mean, literally pink mist in the scope kind of fast. What do you think?
I agree. The trigger's really nice. I haven't done any modifications to the trigger on it. It came exactly like that out of the box. The other modifications I did to it was one downside that where I live, it's rather cold at times, so that wire stock up against your cheek, super cold. Had to get rid of that, so I wrapped it in paracord. I originally started with the butt stock, and then I just kind of went wild and kept going and finished off the front end. And I put the glass on it, which is a Tasco 3x7x20. I don't know if it's just the old eyes or it's the glass itself, but I'm not too impressed with the clarity on it. Even though it is a bottom dollar scope, I'm not really that impressed with it. But I am impressed with the weight of it.
Yeah, and I like all of those features. I would totally agree with you on the scope. In today's world of eBay scopes that are really, really nice, you can go to the NC Star brand and find stuff that right out of the box is pretty clear for, you know, 40, 50 bucks. I feel like that's a little blurry for what I'm doing and my old eyes. Everything else about the rifle I really like. There's, it's small. If I had to say negative, it's small. The rifle itself, it's hard to hold on to for me after holding on to the size of the Henry's AR7. So that would be its only negative. And then the fact that if you're totally addicted to repeater rifles, this is a breakdown rifle. So everything else, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, 10 being best of a minimalist rifle, you're really in a 7 or 8 category, because you do get that really tidy breakdown. You do get, what, 2.5 pounds?
Yep.
In that category. And the thing just disappears into your pack or hangs on the outside, you know, fully erect. So in our Chiappa Badger versus the AR7 Henry's rifle shootout competition, I'd actually have to say that Phil won in the minimalist category, and the AR7 for a little more user-friendly rifle, multiple task rifle, might have won in that category. He definitely outshot me today. But one thing I really want to talk about is cleaning up your trash. When you leave a place, make sure you take everything with you and a little bit more. And that's how these places are going to stay open forever. What do you think, Red?
I agree. Pick up your trash.